Hey, welcome back to another episode of Therapeutic Rap Kinda. Um, listen, man, we have had the most internet problems in the last 24 hours here in Greensboro. My internet's back up and running, but I got some other stuff that's not working right. And then a lot of the teams not here because they're having uh, problems as well. However, I did want to come on live. I pushed y'all off yesterday because I ain't had no choice, but I did want to come on and show everybody that like me and Chris, we here. You know what I'm saying? We was ready. We looked at the timer and everything, but things aren't going well. However, I promise you,
Rain, sleet, slow, or no internet.
we coming next week. Pause. We coming next week, and I might try something out, man. One day next week too. I might try a little solo therapeutic rap, give you 15, 20 minutes or whatever's on my mind. And we'll just see how that worked too. But I never want to disappoint the people. I
Yeah,
never
we,
want to
we don't intentionally starve the streets, y'all. We
yeah,
don't. It's just
nah,
ain't
man.
no weight moving right now.
The streets need a body, man.
Weight is on a premium right now, man. So
And I
you know what
mean
I'm
I got
saying?
I just now got all the sound bites loaded up, everything, man. And I wanted to get into the senseless M word of uh Sonya Massey. And you know, we like to joke around and have a lot of fun. Today wasn't going to be that kind of episode. However, it was going to be one that we need to have, and the lack of training that I feel like police officers across the nation receive before they're out here in the streets serving and protecting. So it's
It's Spectrum. And just go look up Spectrum. Just go look up Spectrum.
yeah, they it's bad out here. But like I said, I felt like I owed it to you guys to come in and give you uh and you know what? You know, Chris, we here, man. Skip
Oh
it.
man.
We give you a quick show, man. We give you a quick show. We
Fuck
here.
it. We in here. I'm in a show mood, man. Fuck
Yeah, we in here. And matter of fact, make Saturday we got a release. I'll let Chris talk to you about that real quick.
it. Hey, so it's not a coincidence that I'm wearing Lions gear, man. Everybody knows that I'm a Lions fan from Detroit. But I went ahead and made the leap and I started my own podcast, man. It's Motor City Roar podcast, man. So the first episode drops 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday.
Get there, get
There's
there, get
already
there.
a clip, a sneak peek already on the channel. So you can go see what something we're gonna talk about on the Saturday's episode, man. But please go check it out. We'll put a link in the description, man. Meet me there. Be me there, don't meet me there. You know what I'm saying? I would greatly appreciate it if y'all swing over. I'm not leaving my duties here. I'm not leaving my duties at Man Down Sports. I just got my hands in different cookie jars now, man. So please go check it out. It'd be greatly appreciated. Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Motor City Roar podcast. I say.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Hey, what's going on, Jeff? The main man. Hey Taco, yeah, Saturday doing Syria versus Sudan. Yeah, right there and doing that. That you're exactly right. That, but it'll be on YouTube. You don't have to. He's pre-recorded it. You don't have to catch it live, but make sure you catch it.
As
You
long
know
as
what
you
I'm saying?
there. No matter when
Um,
you see it, just make sure you see it.
but you said something right here about the police officers
Mm.
require less training than hairstylists. So in my research, I found out that typically, in order to take your test to pass the police academy, you're required on average of 833 hours of training
Mm.
over 5 months. That's what the police academy is.
About how many days is that? Let me look that up while you're talking. I'm gonna look up how many days that is.
Um, so to become a licensed barber in the state of North Carolina, you need 1,528 hours of training before you can get before you can take the test.
Mm. Mm.
Now I got another one for you, Chris. It's probably going to blow
Talk
your
to me.
mind. Pause. To become a plumber, you need 4,000 hours of training 2,000 of those hours have to be hands-on actually plumbing.
OJT type shit.
Yeah, to become a licensed plumber. Like so
I gotta have 4,000 hours for pipe work, pause. 1,500 hours to do hairstyles, but only 833 to tote a badge and gun and call law.
there's something wrong with that, man. There's absolutely something wrong with that.
That is what I like to call bass backwards.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of people don't know that, you know,
that
policing started during the slave times, man. They were the overseers to make sure that slaves did what they're supposed to do. And it's just the relations, like the community relations with the black culture and police just are at an all-time low. Like it's never been great, but it's I seen a stat that in 2023 the police killed 1,300 and some odd people. Right?
They
now of the people that they killed, 27% were black. And black people are only 13% of the population. Like there's a problem with that math, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? And I get into it. The first clip, man, this defense lawyer that be on TikTok, he was breaking down some of the footage from the Sonya Massey murder. Like I don't know if I can say that word or not, but yeah, I said
unaliving.
Yeah, there we go. Good job, Chris. I didn't have anything.
the unfortunate unaliving.
Yeah, so let's get into that real quick.
No, headshot, dude. She's done.
So he wants to get his kid to see if he can save her, and he says, "Nah, she's done. It's a headshot," and that's what he threatened her with.
Yeah, I'm good. This fucking bitch is crazy.
Fucking bitch is crazy. I mean, listen to the callousness. He just got done shooting somebody who was vulnerable adult that posed no threat to him whatsoever. She had a pot of hot boiling water. Rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Pulls his gun. She cowers and says, "I'm sorry."
Oh, all right. I'm not even gonna waste my med stuff then.
Waste my med stuff. She's not worth trying to save.
Holster down. Let her fucking just.
Let her just what? Let her just bleed out? Is that what you were going to say? You didn't render aid. The minute you pulled your fucking gun, she cowered. She was no threat to you whatsoever. That is powerful evidence. Funny how he's putting up the crime scene tape for his own crime.
Oh, we hurt you. You called us. Okay. So what'd you hear? No, I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face. Okay.
So the ending of that clip was like when they first got there, like she said, "Man, you're not gonna hurt me, are you?" And you know he kind of laughed and was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like you called us." And within the time that he was there, it turned to, "I will shoot you right in your effing face." Like this is, it's sad, it's unfortunate, it's diabolical. It's
you know the shit that really kind of pisses me off when it comes to shit like this. And a lot of people I've seen a lot of people talk about, well, you know, she was throwing the pot. She was in the act of throwing the pot. If that be the case, right? If that be the case, how many times have we seen and because I don't want to, flag the page. How many times have we seen an other color shooter shoot up a school, shoot up a church, shoot up a mall, put people down, and get taken out in handcuffs?
Man, you had armed people storm the Capitol on January 6th and live to tell about it.
I feel like the criteria is different, and it's not fair. And it's like, at what point how many cases do you need to see that there's a dissonance? There's a disconnect, right? If she called the police, she called because she needed them for something. She called the police, and whether it be that the boiling pot of water became a threat or not, right? She had not done a crime that warranted her unaliving at that moment that she was unalived. But there have been countless people who have put many a body under their belt before the cops got there and was walked out in handcuffs.
But
What
Chris,
is the difference?
well, we know what the difference is. But Chris, let's say the boiling pot of water was a threat, right? Let's say it was a threat. Let's say it is very threatful. A boiling pot of water. If I step outside that door and close the door behind me, what can you do with the boiling pot of water?
Nothing.
Not to me. And what you do with water in your own house is no longer my concern. You get what I'm saying? Like there's no need for deadly force in that situation, man. No matter what it is.
And the cop pressed the issue. Like,
and speaking of the cop,
if you saw her go, and the cop brought it up, he was like, hey, you go turn off that. We don't need to be burning the house down. So you sent her over there. After you seen, there should be some kind of something going off in your head that, okay, something's not right with her. I'm going to leave. They don't do that. They feel like they need to immediately pull the gun. And for what? But y'all go through all these other for other colors. Y'all go down this whole checklist of baton, taser, pepper spray, all kind. Y'all will go through the whole fucking Batman belt before y'all get to the gun. Pull the gun, don't even use it. I've seen a video of a dude brandishing a knife in arm's length of a cop, and he still wouldn't shoot. But you're 6-7 feet away from a woman with a pot of water, and that was enough for you to feel like your life was in danger. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. So during my research, I found out that Buddy has, in the last 4 years, he's worked at 6 different police agencies.
Red flag right there. Y'all don't.
And that like there's so much more than that. I'll just listen to this clip, man, and we'll come back. And this is a pretty lengthy clip. It's about 2.5 minutes, but here we go.
CBS News has uncovered notes from one of Grayson's former police chiefs during a reference check for his next police job. It was a warning of the trouble Grayson had already caused, and it doesn't stop there. Another supervisor said he failed to obey orders, especially during the high-speed chase you're about to see.
Okay, I'm sorry. The red flags and warning signs were there prior to Deputy Grayson firing those fatal shots into Sonya Massey.
I'm trying to get help.
A woman home alone who called police for help over a possible intruder, but instead ended up with Deputy Sean Grayson.
Do what?
Grayson, who's now charged with her murder, had a troubled career that began with a stint in the Army, a discharge for misconduct, then followed by more accusations of misconduct.
We checked your front yard.
During his time in law enforcement, described as having trouble obeying orders.
We're at the end of 2nd Street. She's taking it out right.
Like with what happened here at his 5th police job when he refused an order by a superior at the Logan County Sheriff's Department to terminate a high-speed chase over a traffic infraction, his speed at times reaching 110 miles per hour.
Are you pursuing?
I'm about to terminate. She's flying up 121 right now.
But Grayson didn't stop. He did, however, turn off his lights and siren, but kept going anyways until he hit a deer.
Well, I'll definitely be terminated because a buck just smacked the side of my driver's side door.
Did you violate a direct order
Yes.
from the supervisor about termination?
Yes, I did.
Grayson was questioned by a deputy chief and other top staff after that crash in Logan County.
Do you agree, before we conclude this, that there's a mountain of policy violations that you committed? 7 months on, how are you still employed by us?
I don't know.
Yet he continued to get a pass over and over again. Even during the Logan County hiring process of Grayson, there were warning signs from another past employer, the Auburn, Illinois Police Department, where he worked in 2022. CBS News obtained these notes from a discussion between the Auburn chief and a representative from Logan County, where Grayson had applied for a new job. It states the Auburn chief said Grayson struggles with report writing, that he was very aggressive with getting drugs. The chief expressed concern that Grayson was too aggressive and that Grayson posted his drug arrests on Facebook. And the chief called him a bragger and was not great with evidence, left items laying around office.
The entire thing makes me sick.
Sangamon County board member Mark Ayers is on the jail committee that authorizes the hiring of new sheriff deputies. He says he was never informed of any negative notes about Grayson prior to hire, and his background was not shared with the committee.
I would never bring on someone that had that troubled past with that record.
As we have been reporting, Grayson worked.
Man, listen. There's some jobs that you can't have and be bad at. Like, the first thing that comes to my mind is you can't be a bad doctor. You can't be a bad pilot. You can't be a bad police. Like, there's some things that
you can't afford to just be bad at.
Yeah, and it should. Right, Taco. They said he's not great with evidence. Like, that's the job, right? Like, if you can't do that, that's the job. You know what I mean? He posting his drug bust on Facebook. The dude got kicked out the Army for a DUI. Then he got another DUI. All of this is before he ever got hired.
They said he got kicked out of the Army for that, plus bad conduct issues. Like, where do you see that bad conduct applies to your mission statement and core values at a police department?
Listen, as a guy who was in the Navy and had my run-ins with doing the right thing while I was there, well, as a couple of guys who were in the Navy and had our running, dude, you got to work real hard to get a bad conduct discharge.
You got to do some shit.
like if I got an honorable discharge, bro, you got to really, like, and a lot of people don't even understand that. Like, they get the big chicken dinner is what they call it. Like, yeah, there's some character issues wrong with it. So then you got this guy right here, and this is before we even question is Buddy a racist or anything like that. Like no, he's bad at the job. Like, I don't want people to feel like that my take is that, you know, most police are racist or whatever, boom, 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 whatever. There's bad people who do whatever job you have. Like, there's people who don't fry the fries right at McDonald's. But that's insurmountable to the job that you're asking them to do. You know what I'm saying? You're asking this person to serve and protect.
And to which point something can become a matter of life and death. Not if you put ketchup on the burger that somebody said no ketchup. Life and death. And I think these cops they take for granted just like what that means. Like, at any given point, you can
spitting facts in the comments too.
Yeah, like, I seen you can have a convicted felon for president, and anything is possible. Anything is fucking possible, bro. And it's just like, but what can we do as a people, bro? What can we do? I know that they change the laws and vote for people, but I mean, at this point, every politician is a liar. It don't matter what party they represent. Everybody's a liar. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know who's really for the people. I don't know who's really trying to get in office and make a change. So at the end of the day, right, it comes down to us. But if we were to actually put our hands on it and do something about it, then that's mutiny, or that's rioting, or that's destroying our own neighborhoods and stuff like that. But it seems like that was the only time that people actually listen. Oh, well, they burning stuff down and they destroying it, because at that point, what else do we have to do to show y'all, like, hey, something needs to change? Y'all wasn't listening to us when we were peacefully protesting, when we were doing everything how y'all was telling us in the guidelines to do it. Y'all wasn't listening. Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Y'all didn't care until we started burning stuff down. But now we're gonna get smart about it. We're not gonna burn our shit down. We're gonna burn your shit down. Yeah, that's where it's gonna end up getting to. And there's a There's a Martin Luther King quote, and I swear I just had it, and I can't. Oh, I love that quote. Go ahead. I'm gonna find that quote.
Yeah, no. Well, here's just an idea from a guy who doesn't know much, right?
Oh, boom. Before you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I must say tonight that a riot is the language of the unheard. And what is it America has failed to hear?
Man, that's powerful. That's powerful. But Chris, let me pose this to you. To be the general manager at like a Marriott hotel, that person who's in charge of that whole hotel has a 4-year degree. Why do we not make police officers go through a 4-year training program or something similar to that in order to walk the streets?
I think Taco said it earlier.
The job that so the job is demanding. I can understand you're risking your life. And listen, man, I salute the people who sign up for that job. And it takes a level of bravery that a lot of people don't understand. Firefighters the same way. However,
shit, paramedics too.
Nah, yeah, straight up.
Because there's only so much blood I can see before I got to check out.
Man, listen. Listen, okay, you said no one would do it, but everyone who's doing it isn't qualified to do it. It shouldn't be something that Joe Blow is sitting at home and like, man, I need a career to pay these bills. So let me go get 5 months and then we straight. We got that city job and that 401k. It shouldn't be easily obtainable to become a police officer. Like, hold on.
She has a point though, and I think a lot of these, bodies of governments and states and stuff like that are scared because if they were to require more requirements, then your task force would go down, and they think that less people on the force, lawlessness would go up, and it's just like they're in the belief of quantity over quality at this point.
I know that this is really small, but I wanted to fit it all on one page. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. I'm already pissed with the second line.
You got to read that because I can't see it.
Every law, so I'll do like a quick. I'll try to quick read down this.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Every law enforcement employed by an agency in North Carolina must be a citizen of the United States, be at least 20 years of age. I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna just pause right there. You telling me, that I can't even drink, but I can tote a badge and gun.
I think they say that they want you to be 21 by the time you graduate police academy, but you can enter in at 20.
Be a high school graduate. That is it.
But
high
hold on.
Graduate or GED.
So there's another part, and I didn't put it in the slide. There's another part that says, be a high school graduate or have a GED and read at a 10th grade level.
10th.
But continue. Go ahead.
Do we not have 12 grades?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter as long as you can read at the 10th grade level. Like, don't worry about the last two English classes.
So damn the citizen, damn the 20 years, damn the high school. The fourth note is be of good moral character. Why is that not number one?
But they go. Yeah, go ahead.
None of some of these people, I'm not gonna say none because there are some good cops. There's a lot of good cops. It's just that they're getting overshadowed by the bad ones. But the bad ones, who is judging moral character? And then in this particular case, how many flags do you need to see of bad moral character and still hire him 6 times?
Here's the thing, Chris, and I'm coming back to our face pause. That was wild. Here's the thing.
It's crazy.
When you give anyone power of any kind over anything, they change a little bit. Even the good people, like they change a little bit. So you may have been of good moral character until someone puts that responsibility on you, and then now you're power drunk, or you're you're afraid. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of things, and you know, I'll put it back up there quick, and we don't have to go into it. A lot of it's about the physical requirements and the psyche val and all that
and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the criminal record. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't seem like those prerequisites are. I mean, it's the same prerequisites to join the military for the most part.
Essentially.
Minus the fingerprint. Well, no, they fingerprint you. Minus the they do the background check. Minus the psyche valve. They don't give a shit if you like if you.
At least they should don't give a damn now.
Hey, you see, I stopped myself from what I was gonna say. I was about to go all the way there, but it's.
And then this is, I mean, and granted that's North Carolina, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty much most, if not all, governing agencies when it comes down to police. She said, "Can you put it back up real quick?"
Yeah, sure will.
And I'm just like,
hey, Taco, 75%. You ain't got to be a great shot.
You got that. That's a C. That is a C in most schools.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not trusting. So you hold on. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you an average shot? You a mediocre shooter, and I'm supposed to be able to trust you? You supposed to be. That's probably what. You know what?
But to that point though, with repetition and practice, you can become a better shot.
Yeah, and with $6 million too. You know what I'm saying? The $6 million man. But this is crazy.
Yeah,
not have committed or been convicted and a DUI. Well, this is North Carolina. I don't remember. I don't know.
It was in Illinois, and I was gonna pull up the thing for Illinois, but it's it's actually they don't have the only state requirements that they have is for the state police. Each individual department and sheriff thing, it varies a little bit. So North Carolina has a state minimum, and your department can make it a little more strenuous, but it has to at least be this.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
This is the base. This is the bare minimum of what it can be.
But because recruiting is down and hiring is low, this is what most police departments is operating under in the state of North Carolina.
But ain't a DUI a felony, regardless?
No. A DUI is a misdemeanor. If someone gets hurt or injured, it can become a felony with like vehicular manslaughter or something like that. But just a DUI is a manslaughter, not manslaughter. Excuse me, is a misdemeanor.
Okay. I thought that shit was automatic DUI because how they be talking about how your life.
Hey Mel, that whole thing, the 75% is a B in school. Now that new grading scale is.
I don't think that's real. I don't.
No.
I seen it because they said like you could get an A at like an 85%. So I seen that, but I don't know if that shit is I don't know if that is real. And I'm like, because y'all pacifying these and listen, I could give a shit if I offend somebody, but the generation coming up, y'all growing a bunch of dumbasses. And this grading scale, let that be real, is just adding to the fire of dumb assery. Mind you, these are the same kids that was eating Tide Pods. They grown now.
Hold on. He said the DUIs only count while you're an officer. It says at the bottom. Hold on. Let me bring it back up. One more time. Chris, go to the bottom real quick. What you got? Hold on. Damn. You got to take the comment down.
Let me see. Notify the Standards Division of all criminal offenses which the officer is arrested for or charged with, pleads no contest to, pleads guilty to, or is found guilty of. This shall include all criminal offenses except minor traffic offenses and shall specifically include any offense of driving under the influence or driving while impaired. A minor traffic offense is defined as an offense where the maximum punishment.
Yeah, it said like 30 to 60 days or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I agree. I don't want to. Please forgive me if I say your name wrong.
It's Centeria.
I agree. You should have a clean record. You can't have nothing. How am I supposed to be able to trust somebody who got a record?
Well, here's
Well,
the thing.
That might be a little. That might be
Yeah,
a little.
yeah. Because like, let's say, hey man, teens do teen stuff. So I get some of it.
But don't that if you do something as a teen, don't that fall off when you become an adult?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Shows y'all just how much I
there's a certain ways to you can get stuff expunged or whatever. It costs money. And you know, it's still we can get deeper into that, but it's still a whole lot of systemic racism and that whole thing and how that goes.
The court system.
But yeah, man. So it doesn't take much.
I would say certain charges on your record, you shouldn't be a cop. I'll say that.
Yeah. Nah, listen. If you got a DUI, right, a DUI conviction, they're not gonna let you drive Uber. You can never be an Uber driver.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any, at times it's still, but not always. Not always. Because if they try you, if you're a kid and they try you as an adult, or the crime is a grade something felony, I don't remember how they rate felonies, but it's still open record. But yeah, if you hold on, it said 4 or more for class.
I'm assuming that's class A.
Yeah.
And then 4 or more for class B.
Yeah.
4 or more offenses? 4 or more charges?
Well, you know who that's written for, because if you got 4 or more offenses, as this, you did some time. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what the offense was. But anyhow, dang, I forgot what I was saying. Gosh. Oh well.
I mean, at what point do we sit down and be like, there's a problem that needs to be fixed in this country? And we the people, we can see where it needs to be fixed at. But I think both sides are just yelling at each other. Nobody's listening. We're especially not being listened to. Because if we were, then the numbers would go down, right? But I'm tired. I'm tired. And y'all, for those who know me or who've watched me over the last however long you've been watching me, or if you know me in person, you know I'm one of the most fun people to be around. I'm always joking. I'm always laughing. I'm always trying to uplift everybody. I'm tired. I'm tired of having a conversation. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of it being a topic because nobody's listening. And like I said, I don't think nothing will change or nothing will even begin to start to change until we start fucking shit up. And this is not me calling for riots or trying to incite riots or anything like that. But I just feel like, what other options do we have? You know what I'm saying? What other options do we have except to turn this back into, mid 90s Watts? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do. And everybody's like, even we've had conversations amongst each other. And it's just like, we're throwing out ideas, go to the polls, vote, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But look who we voting for. Look who we got.
Man, it's deeper than that, man. Like, really, if you go to the Constitution, right? And mind you, I'll speak about the Constitution because I signed up to defend, to put my life on the line to defend the Constitution. Right?
Same here.
Well, the Constitution was never written for people who look like you and I. In the Constitution, we were referred to as 3/5 of a man. You know what I'm saying? And women, it wasn't written for women or nothing either. Well, okay, there's amendments to the Constitution, but you're still playing the game by the original rules of the Constitution plus the amendments until you start over from scratch. There has to be a new constitutional convention. Until you start over from scratch here in this country, that your founding documents thinks that we are 3/5 of a human. Until you see me as your equal, until you see the people that look like me as an equal, until you understand that we do the same exact things that you all do. We bleed, we cry, we love, we hurt, we heal, we do everything that until it starts over from beginning. This shit will never change, and somebody has to be bold enough to start that movement. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know when you do anything in the public or whatever, they come want to turn all your other, lift up all the rocks, open up all your closets, and find out who you are as a human. So it will not be me that started the movement. However, somebody needs to start the movement, man, because it's ridiculous. I mean, like, listen, man, we have FaceTime, the ability to play people online on video games, and we're still going by a document that lists us as 3/5 of a human. Like, this is
That was written by
bananas.
niggas with wooden teeth, mind you. Wooden teeth and powdered wigs.
But hold on, time out. Pop on veneers ain't much different. and you know, I'm making a little joke, but come on, man. Like, there's enough information. There's enough information out here to say, hey, look, let's start this thing over. All right.
We ain't even put the number up.
Nah.
Evens?
Nah. And then I somehow didn't answer it right. So I'm calling back. I think that's Funk.
You need to start saving numbers, man.
Yellow.
Hey, what's going on, man?
It's Funky Town. What's going on?
What's going on? See, I was right.
Say the damn number.
Yes, you right.
What's happening, Funk?
Hey, man. You're in my wheelhouse right now. You're in my wheelhouse right now.
Hey,
my
man,
wheelhouse. Right?
Am I speaking the real, man, or am I just blowing
No,
smoke?
and you know what? You one of the first people who said what I've been thinking this for over a decade, that our Constitution is not perfect. It's not fit for purpose anymore.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of things happening. You got, like Chris touched on, you got the population standards have been dropped educationally, generation after generation after generation after generation. You got it where people can't think in other words, as long as you keep feeding them what they want to hear, you can keep doing whatever you want to do on the side and on the back. You know, we don't understand. A lot of people don't understand, as you were stating about overseers, and really it was even more than that. It was the night riders. That's where that term comes from.
Come on.
Those were the night patrols. Those were the slave catchers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because a lot of people want you to believe that everything was hunky dory, and if you understand, you know, they come back with that crap about, you know, Civil War wasn't about slavery, and that the average person didn't own slaves or whatever. That's first off technically true, but when you talk about the average person, we're not talking about households that own slaves, right? And even more than that, the systems that had put in place to keep people employed because there was a need to go catch those slaves, that property that was worth more than anything else, combined with all the other assets that were held in private hands. The human beings were the biggest thing in the United States. We were the capital.
A commodity.
The buildings that were built, that state the buildings in Connecticut and New York and other places. People don't understand the system that was there, how it's been put together, and that the document, it's our founding country's document, right? It's not there. It's there to keep and still keep that same system of white supremacy in charge. It's still that. If you look at the Second Amendment, it says to a well-regulated militia. Do you know what that militia was for? That militia was there in case of servile insurrection. That means slave revolts, which there were quite a few of them.
That's right.
That's why they wanted those that amend the Bill of Rights, that part of the Bill of Rights in it. They wanted, it wasn't because, oh, we're going to go against the government. No, they had the government because of the 3/5 compromise, which why we were considered 3/5 of a human being. They had that. They had the population. They had the government. The Civil War happened because they lost their election in 1860. You look at the numbers of slave owners and slave people from slave states that were in the presidency and the balance of power that's been off kilter. It's still off kilter. Why is it? How is it that Donald Trump lost about 2 million votes in 2016, but he became president? Because of what? The Electoral College.
Same
which
way
is their why.
Al Gore won,
the
but George
dumbest-
Bush was in the
No,
office.
but it's not dumb if that's what your point is. If your point is to make sure that you can control, and you can make sure that you don't have the population, but you got the power to keep 2 votes in the Senate, and everybody else has 2 votes. That's why Wyoming, who has the least population, has 2, and California has only 2, and it's got the biggest population in the country.
Yeah,
They do that. That's all part of the control. That's all part of keeping that control consolidated. And I took constitutional course law in college, and I'm gonna tell you, if you really break it down, if you look at it, you do real study, you'll find that the powerful, and at that time it was agricultural based. But even before that, it's still powerful. You look at how bankruptcy is done in this country. It's designed so that those people can pick right back up, just like this knucklehead can have all this stuff going on with him, and somehow the guy comes back, he's on the board, that hired him, saying, "I didn't know all this information." Well, that's convenient for you to say that, but the bottom line is the culture, the overall national culture, and especially the police culture.
And let's say
police culture. Go ahead.
Let's say he didn't know that. That means you didn't do your due diligence.
Exactly. Like I said, you can come back and you can try to say to me, Sergeant Giat, you didn't know this. Well, most of my officers would have said, why didn't you know that?
Yeah.
That would have been the next
Hold on.
question.
What's
What do
your
you
name?
mean you didn't know it? Say again?
What's your name?
Giat.
Oh, this is Jeff?
Yeah.
No, you never put that together?
Hell no.
Chris. See?
Because we always call him Funky Town.
Detroit.
God
Exactly.
damn. Hey man, look, hey man. It's nice to put a name to the voice, man. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No. What? So when you're looking at the culture of policing, when I was a first sergeant, I was in charge of a garrison in Germany, and that meant I had MPs. Now, I personally didn't like MPs, as most people who aren't MPs in the military don't like MPs. But I learned to. You can see that there are some good people. You get what I'm saying? You like you said, there are good people, there are bad people, whatever. And fortunately, the ones that I had, especially in the leadership, their standards were really high. Like they held their MPs to high standards. They didn't. As a matter of fact, we had to put one of my guys in jail, Leavenworth.
Ooh.
Because he decided he wanted to do some stuff he wasn't supposed to do.
Big brig.
And and the ones that were making and pushing to make sure it did it were the leaders to make sure that it happened. So again, not everybody's the same, but they're older guys. They're older. And if you've listened to some of the, like even 20 years ago, they started 20 and 30 years ago. The guys that were doing training, they started to understand that things were changing when it used to be when they were explaining when you shoot, when you don't shoot. Situations, because you go through all these situation-driven things, just like we did in the military with rules of engagement and all that other stuff. Well, they had the same thing in their training, in their academies. And it came back through the grapevine that the question stopped being, what do I do here? What do I do here? And became, when can I shoot?
Wow.
And well, see, that's what I'm saying. So but they didn't. They should have seen right then, just like in the military. You might not have been in it. Chris, you weren't in, I'm sure, but you might not have been in, Jay. But they had the tail hook situation. Remember tail hook? They used to have a big fighter convention, Naval Aviation convention in Las Vegas. It's called tail hook, and they had a big sexual harassment because they had females were starting going to aviation and being allowed to do whatever, and they were getting harassed and groped and all kinds of stuff. It was a big scandal in the 90s. Anyway, but the military kind of figured it out. Like, okay, look, and in the Army, we had a situation with drill sergeants and female basic trainees and sexual harassment and assaults and all kinds of stuff. So everyone was having this problem, and we kind of figured out, we're the problem. See, because you know that sometimes the military can be a lot like locker room, and until you figured out, like, okay, we were the ones that were doing wrong. The women weren't the ones doing wrong. We were the ones doing wrong, and we were doing wrong when we didn't step to that dude who was talking about what he did, and we laughed it off. We were wrong in that case too, right? Like just to be honest. But it took training, it took an emphasis, it took command. It took a while, but it took command emphasis. It took people saying, "Okay, no, this is wrong, and we're not going to tolerate this anymore." You see, but this guy who got jumped out of the Army, that right there should have been like your major, like, you don't need to be involved with anything involved with people when you have a gun.
Anything,
right? When I heard you say that, I'm like, wait. I mean, I knew it anyway, but I'm like, that right there should have been number one on your application. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Moving on, file 13, and move on, because
not the job
there's no way. But the culture of policing is they're not right because there's no accountability. They're not wrong, right? There's an excuse for everything, right? If it had not been, think about this, had it not been for his partner having that camera on, because the other dude turned his off. The dude who did shooting, he turned his off.
Which is a fucking illegal in itself.
But again, how many times has that happened and nothing's happened to the person,
right?
Or to their leadership, or to anybody? And the federal government's not stepping up and saying, "Hey, you're violating federal law by doing," because it's a violation of civil rights to do that. But they're not putting the emphasis, because we've got the Supreme Court came up basically saying they have justifiable immunity, police, and because of that, they've gone through and they've given them. That's why it's so hard to convict these criminals, because that's what they are. They're criminals with badges.
Facts,
right? And instead of being treated that way, because it's a bad combination, because it's gotten so bad that you've not only got bullies and cowards and thugs and criminals all together, but now they're not even being held to any kind of standard. Those people are being protected. For instance, my biggest question was the guy who had his camera on, and thank goodness he had his camera on, but why? I didn't hear him say, "Partner, post your weapon."
Yeah. What did you do?
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's standing back.
Yeah.
He's seeing something happening before his eyes. He can see this dude is clearly like, there's no reason to ask somebody in their own home for their ID.
And in fact, not only that, when Grayson pulled his weapon, the other cop pulled his too.
But see,
like,
and there
should have been something saying, "Hey, bro, we don't need this."
Yes, because you're supposed to be taught to de-escalate. And that was the other thing. Yeah. Some of my MP guys would tell me, no, we do try to de-escalate. Now, a reason they will try to de-escalate is they're going to be on a base with a whole bunch of other people who aren't MPs that have access to weapons and ammunition. So you can play that game if you want to. Like, you ain't just going to kill somebody and stay around and everybody going to be cool and there ain't nothing going to happen to you.
Right.
We all know that.
It's a different.
It's
a different game
it's
on
a
base.
Different game when there's a consequence.
Yeah.
When you understand, like, hey, you go sleep in somebody's barracks or whatever. You put your eyes somewhere, okay? And you got a number of 20,000 people, and all they're thinking about is doing you harm. So you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna act too much a fool when you know there are consequences. The problem that and this is another thing I want to touch on with you fellas, and it's one of the things that gets at me is us as melanated men. We shouldn't be allowing this to happen. Like this is the thing. There should be a consequence. You know what I mean? Like there should be that understanding that if you harm one of ours, especially a woman, our tribe is going to make sure something happens to you, right? And unfortunately, we have been conditioned, in my view, and some of it, like they were saying, some of the things that we think are so cool, you know, like go back with me. In the 80s, we were trying to do something more with self-consciousness. We had rappers, Public Enemy, all these they were trying to lift us up. They were talking about this same stuff that's going on. Same thing. 911 is a joke. All that this was back in the 80s being talked about.
NWA.
Right? But now you got people who aren't us, who are the ones really in charge, who have been for decades making money off of us and our creativity. But then at the same time, what are they allowing? Are they allowing the positive messaging to go out now?
Nah, you can't get a record deal with a positive message.
Thank you. They stopped it. And there's a reason for it. Hey, we are a target.
As always,
and we need to understand that.
Hey, as always, man, we definitely appreciate the call, man, and the insight. And
you got it, brother.
You said a mouthful, and that's real. We the men of the community.
Yes, we need to be protectors of the community.
We got to step up.
Yes,
we got to step.
We got to step up.
And
right?
I mean,
we can't be calling our women. We can't be calling our women bitches.
And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it one step further too. And you probably ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, Funky Town, but you know me. These little nutty young niggas, and I said niggas on purpose, who like to just bang bang, shoot them up, spot them, shot them. These cats who will kill somebody that look just like you, but won't even get emotional when somebody else violates your queens and your kings of your community. That's part of the problem as well.
No, it is. But you know, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I'll take it another step further.
You got to take that same energy. You got to take that same energy.
But we men have to understand that we, and in some of our cases, those above us fail too, because the reason I don't say that word, the bitch, I don't call my wife that, because I didn't see my father call my mother that.
Nah, that's real. That's real.
You see what I'm saying? I wasn't raised. I wasn't raised around that. The N word. I tried my level best not to use that word. Number one, because I know what you meant for emphasis. I know that's not your thing. I know that was for emphasis. What I'm saying is, to me, that's an ignorant word. But it's not just an ignorant word. If you're saying that stuff out in public, then you're no matter what you think, you're giving somebody else reason to even have an argument about saying that word to us. Because all you got to do is look online. That you can get now. You sit up there and say something about Elon Musk, you can get your stuff banned. But you can go ninja all day you want to. They got probably anybody going back for that one.
100,000 likes.
And we don't exactly. And we haven't. We set back again. The tools haven't always been there, but we got to get ourselves tooled up. We got to get ourselves educated. Our young men need to understand that it's not young and it's not black. It's man. It's men.
For sure.
You have to be a man. And men they cherish their queens. They cherish their princesses, their princes. They understand that prince is going to be a king one day. And if you start thinking that way, maybe, just maybe, we will get ourselves out of the situation. Because this society, like you said from the beginning, take it back to the beginning, this society was built on us, and it's still built. The whole prison situation, all that, the whole justice system, it is designed for black bodies to not have agency.
For sure.
And the sooner people understand that, pull their heads out and get an understanding, maybe we can move forward.
Hey, Funky Town, before I let you go, man, I want to share with you what Chantel Fields said about the partner, and said he probably wouldn't have listened to his partner, especially if he never listened to his commanding officers prior to. And that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
No, my point is not about whether or not he was listening. I'm talking about the partner.
Yeah, no. I definitely get it. I get. I understand. I completely agree with what she's saying. And the fact that he never was listening to his commanding officers then is yet another reason why he shouldn't have been on the force that day.
How many, like, you can go through YouTube and all these encounters with police officers. How many times do you hear the other one saying, hey, until you get, every once in a while you'll get a supervisor and be like, hey, he can do that. He has a right to protest in the Constitution.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever. You see, but they'll, in other words, like when he came in there into her house asking for her ID.
Man, just think about this. Just think about this. How many laws can you actually learn while you're doing the physical stuff, the shooting stuff, the pepper spray, the tase? You're doing all of this in those same 833 hours. How many laws can you really be acquainted with? You know what I'm saying?
No, but brother, it's not about the. I mean, it is about obviously learning your job and learning your craft, if you want to call it a craft. But the problem is that the way they're being taught, they're not being taught to protect us.
No, for sure.
They're being taught to control us.
Absolutely.
See, that's
where the problem lies, right there.
Right. But the whole system is. But it's the entire culture. They are not being trained to serve and protect us. We are the threat. We are the population that has to be controlled and subjugated. That's what they're trained to do. They're trained to keep us in our place.
Nah, that's a fact. Hey man,
that's what it is. We are the target.
Always
more than anybody else. We are the target, and that's what people need to understand. You know, when you got to understand that this system is actually built to subjugate you. That is what it's there for. That's why, if you notice, when they talk to certain people, they talk a certain way. When they talk to us, it's different.
You better say it.
Now, again, that's not all of them. And again, I'm not trying to say all of them, but what I'm saying is that I was embarrassed when that whole thing came out with the Army and the basic training sexual thing. I was embarrassed. All right. It was a black eye for us, and took it on board. The problem is they're not embarrassed. They're not saying, hey, we're getting rid of these dudes.
Nah, it's almost business as usual.
No, it's business. It's closed ranks. I mean, look at and it's not even a police thing. Look at that kid up in went from Wisconsin to or wherever, went from Minnesota to Wisconsin, wherever.
Oh, fucking Rittenhouse.
Got a gun. There you go, Rittenhouse. He goes, shoots people.
His bitch ass.
He comes back to the police line, and what happened?
Nothing.
They let him in.
Nothing. Right.
They offered him a beverage.
And
this dude got a hot barrel.
What was your boy name? Dylan Roof. They stopped Dylan Roof off.
Took him to the drive-thru in the Burger King.
Yeah, they stopped him off the Burger King, get him a meal.
Hey,
that was the one that did the movie theater, right?
He shot up the church, the black church. He killed people in the
black. I know the one that did the movie theater. I think they went and got him some food or some water too.
In Colorado, you talking about?
Yeah, in Colorado, the Batman joint.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. But again, see, this is the thing. That man, like Chris said, these guys come out in handcuffs. They can treat them like human beings and not animals. We're different.
After they just hot at 15 people.
You're gonna try to use, if you're gonna sit up here and try to tell me that boiling water on the stove is a threat to you, you don't need to have anything to do with guns or badges or authority over anybody.
And not for nothing.
Anybody.
Not for nothing. A pot of boiling water, for the people that don't know, if you leave it unattended, the water will boil out and evaporate.
Boil out and evaporate. That's number one.
And now you just got a really hot
dodge
pot.
it.
Yeah.
Even if it can start you.
Yeah.
The person throwing is the one's got a problem, not you.
Number three.
You get out of the way.
Number three, if you wearing the correct uniform, it's probably about 3% of your body that's exposed, just skin anyway.
But even if that's the case, that's not life threatening.
Right.
Not at all.
Unless your skin's gonna explode because you've never taken a bath in your life. That's not a life threatening situation.
Which some of the other colors is known for.
Because you think there's an intruder, why haven't you gone around the property or whatever and look for the intruder?
Right.
Why are you inside the house? Why are both of you inside the house? Why is this one woman a threat to you?
Man,
it's
listen,
crazy. We're the threat and the standard.
So many answers, but we done reached that time. Hey, Funky Town, man,
I
definitely appreciate you.
Y'all hit that like button. You keep it up, man. Y'all keep it up.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Later. Good night.
And guys, like on some real stuff, like I said, we came in at the beginning, and I was just coming in to inform you that we wasn't going to do a show, and then I said we was going to do a half a show. But look at that.
Hey man,
we done did a whole show.
When the vibes take you there, man. I mean, it's just some shit that just needs to be said, bro.
You know we'll be back to our normal uplifting, funny relationship and other type of topics soon, man. But this, it's been really weighing on me to talk about it. You remember last week I mentioned it, but I didn't want to talk about it, and then I felt like I did a disservice by not talking about it.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah, and so I'll say this in closing, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. Put in the comments if you're watching this live, watching the replay, man. Put in the comments, man. What can we do to make it better, like individually? Because the only way to change is change something. You know what I mean? So we understand it has to be a whole lot of small steps in order to make any progress, but you know, the way to run 1,000,000 miles is take the first step. You know what I mean? So we got to do something. But again, man, I appreciate everybody who came in here, and let us know, man, if y'all want, you know, a mixture of some hard hitting topics like this with what we do already, man, because we're really here to rap therapeutically with you guys, man. Like that's what this is for. That's what the vision was about. It's always been about, man, bringing you all what it is.
Issues.
Yeah. So, man, once again, man, we appreciate it. I would love to say that I'm going to put Chris' podcast link in the description. But right now, man, computer is kind of whipping. It'll be in there by the end of tomorrow. I promise you. I'll probably do it tomorrow morning. It'll be in there.
But just in case, I'll reiterate it again. Motor City Roar podcast. Type it in. You should see a whole bunch of Detroit things, and I already got a clip, a little sneak peek of what Saturday's show is going to be about. So,
and even I can spell those words. I can spell motor, I can spell city, and I can spell roar. You know what I mean? So podcast might do something to me.
That might trip you up a little bit. Damn, that is right there in the top right corner.
I can't see that. But nah, for real, man, we appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Thank y'all for sticking with me. Taco and Centuria, man, thank y'all for not accepting me telling y'all, man, we'll see y'all next week. Like, thank you for real, because it was still on my chest. It was still heavy.
They definitely led the charge in the comments for sure.
Yeah. Thank y'all for actually giving me the motivation to go ahead and get it done, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all don't know what y'all meant to this podcast tonight. I appreciate you guys. Oh, by the way, next week we're gonna be back on our regular day, Wednesdays. This is a Wednesday podcast. I know tonight Thursday, Wednesday, each and every Wednesday. We here.
We was just on some real color people time this week. Peace, y'all.
Yeah.